On a voice.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Vanessa's podcast and the YouTube channel. Today I have Elma Linz Kanefield. Hello, Elma.
Hello, Vanessa.
It's great to have you, and I was so delighted to receive your book, which is a wonderful book. I've been telling people about it, Hamelt's Mirror, and it was released in September, so it's pretty recent.
Yes.
And I know that you've been talking about it, sharing it, and it's very insightful. It has a lot, so we're going to go over through a few questions for you. But first, I'm going to present you really quick. So for 35 years, you work with dancer, actor, musician, artist, as a psychotherapist, life coach, a counselor, and you also founded the counseling place in Julia, which is pretty awesome. So tell me a little bit about that, how it came about, because I know that you wanted to be there, you wanted to audition, and it's funny because in your book you explain how you end up there and you end up opening a position that never existed before. So
the Juilliard experience. When I was a little girl, I wanted to go to Juilliard. I wanted to be a performer. Did I start there?
Yeah.
Okay. And I did go to New York. I didn't go to Juilliard. I went to the neighborhood playhouse. And when I was at the neighborhood playhouse, I would get various gigs in New York and do a little acting and some singing. And one night I was on the stage. Every time I tell this story, I get the same feeling. Terrible feeling. I was on the stage and I was thinking, okay, I got this. Or do I look good enough? Or will they like me? And will I hit the note? And then the chord sounded. And I opened my mouth and absolutely nothing would come out. Couldn't phonate. I just stood there for a moment paralyzed. And then I just ran off the stage and I never returned.
Wow.
And there was nothing wrong with my chords. And I went into psychoanalysis. I saw a therapist. Nobody could help me because back in those days, many, many years ago, nobody even heard of the concept, the psychology of the performing artist. And I moved back to the Midwest where I was from. And went to get my graduate degree. And of course, there were no courses in that, but I learned a lot and decided, opened a practice there, a therapy practice, and was lucky enough to have performing artists in my practice and decided this is what I want to do.
So this opened up a lot of questions for you because you really thought you wanted to be a performer, but this learning experience, life experience, changed everything, and then you realize that it actually was just a pathway for you to realize your real career, like your passion. Yeah.
It was, Vanessa. So at 40 years old, I had children in Missouri, and that's where I'm from. And at 40 years old, when they had graduated high school, I took myself back to New York and decided to open a private practice exclusive to performers. And I thought, you know, I'd have a lot of competition because seemed like such a natural, and nobody. I know, it's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, had that kind of practice, so immediately I had a very substantial practice, and then Juilliard.
Wow.
This is really an opportunity because Juilliard put an ad in the paper, and I understand hundreds of people responded for a 9-hour therapy job. And I was lucky enough to get the position.
Yeah, it's very ironic in a way, you know, how it happened.
Yeah, you bet.
It's
My dream in a different way.
exactly, yeah.
And actually, it was more of an idea at Juilliard because I write in the book, no telephone, no chair, no space. And so I worked that out for the first 3 months, and I saw so many people. The students would call in the middle of the night. It was such a necessary, fabulous idea, but I couldn't sustain that. My poor husband, I mean, we'd be asleep and the telephone would ring. And these students were really challenged. So I went to President Joseph Polisi, who was then president, and I said, listen, I'm going to go back to the old way, which was to see if a very excellent psychologist who saw the students once and referred them on, or contract with a hospital, or start a psychological counseling service. And he looked at me, he said, well, do you want to? I said, sure. As long as it's confidential, no teachers, nobody knows, no parents, and unlimited sessions.
Wow.
He thought about it and he said, okay, very brave. And it's been that way ever since. When I left, I had, I think, 6 practitioners and a psychiatrist on my staff, and now there, I think, 11.
Oh my God. Wow. It's really grown. Wow. That's pretty. So let's discuss this formula that you are talking about in the book. It's a triangle with different characterizations. So you have the villain, a pugnacious performer, the hero, promising performer, and the victim, a problem-ridden performer. So you start as describing the different clients that you have that come into your office, and sometimes they have all 3, sometimes 2, sometimes 1 of them, and they just talk. They talk sometime in the past. They talk with an idea of rejection, the fear. And so you had so many different case studies with clients, and I had picked a few that we're going to talk about. And so tell me about how it works, like, and there's also a reflection scale from 1 to 8 on a lot of pages. So basically you're doing like your own therapy when you're reading the book. So it's really helpful for a lot of us. And there's a lot of performer or type performer out there. So I'm sure they're going to find that useful. So yeah, tell me how you analyze and decide which person is in which, spot, like which one is a hero one and which one is a victim, problem-ridden one. How is it for you to differ between?
I believe you're talking about the drama trauma triangle.
Yes.
drama, trauma triangle, we all fall into at times in our lives, are roles, archetypal roles, because we all at times in our lives feel like we're the victim of a circumstance or a person's behavior. And then there are other times when we feel like we're the hero. I fixed this, I rescued her, I'm the savior.
Mhm.
And then the other apex of the triangle, wait, let me see if I can hold this up. Do you remember what page that's on?
Yeah, I can find it really.
Okay.
I wrote it down. Let me see. This is just a lot of information. Let's see.
You could hold it up while I'm describing.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. Oh, I got it.
Thank you.
Right here.
Okay. So, and then at other times in our lives, we feel villainous, aggressive, hurtful, damaging. And each one of us, and only we know which one is our kind of favorite fallback, default, apex role. And we usually start there if we're going to occupy an apex on the triangle. Let me see if I can give you a position, a situation.
Okay.
I'll use Disney
All right.
and the Queen.
The diva syndrome.
Well, no, this isn't the diva syndrome. This is just Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And
all right.
okay, and the Queen in that tale. Which role do you think she falls back on?
The victim. Oh, the queen. Sorry. No,
Yeah.
the hero.
You think she's the hero? You think she fixes things?
I mean, that's how I think she feels. She's the hero. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. But very soon, what role does she occupy?
The villain.
Yes. So all of us have our favorite role, the villain, but we run around the triangle because we're stuck on it. So she goes to the villain, and then she's ostracized, so she falls to the victim. And then she'll go back to the hero. And
yeah, I get that. That's totally true. It's a cycle.
yes,
And I think that nobody's aware all the time which place you occupy. And so there's one case study you're talking about, a guy where he didn't realize that he was holding on to that triangle and stuck in there until you brought awareness to him. And when he was aware of it, he started stepping away slowly and then was able to go back to his life. So that's what you do a lot, is that you get people to see where they stand, how they see things, and they don't see what they actually need or want. They're in the wrong spot, and then you put them back in real life, real time, and then they're able to, a lot of them, you say, go back to great career, just, leave the old story behind. And you only had one or two cases where the therapy didn't work. You said it didn't come back. It just didn't work for them. You can tell me about that if you want.
Yeah. The goal of the triangle is to get off the triangle and become authentic and real and feel your feelings and think your thoughts and articulate your real self. We don't need those roles. We need to be real to reach what I consider the essence of all the work of performing artists, their performance potential, which is different for everyone.
So what's the difference you will between people from one person to another about their full potential? So, I mean, from your point of view.
What's the difference between, I'm sorry, I didn't get.
Between people's full potential.
Okay, we all have our own personal performance potential. If I can ask your listeners or viewers, I don't know, do people view your podcast as well as listen?
Yes, we are going to see and they're going to listen. So both it's going to be in all places. Yeah.
Okay, so close your eyes, if you will, and think, what is your deepest promise in yourself? That one thing that maybe you've never said aloud, or maybe even let yourself know that you can reach, that one special doing or being about yourself. Don't say it out loud, just let yourself know it. Dig deep. That may be your performance potential. It's the best you can be and do at the moment of performance, at the moment of you doing something, knowing what you know at that moment.
Nice, really good. And also, you say you are attuned with the psyche, the profession, the art form. So you work with your unique style because you really put yourself at the client's level, the performance level, and you try to understand each of them, you know, so you can really help. I'm sure that's not easy to do.
It's a collaboration. It depends. First of all, I think people come to see me, artists come to see me because they're in pain. They feel enough discomfort in their lives, so they want to change.
Yeah, I understand that. You did talk about this in the book about the suffering person, artist, that think that they have to longing this suffering image all along, everywhere they go, everything they do, to a point where they don't realize that it's affecting their life, their future, and their performance, what their potential. So it's like a little bit of a myth of you know, having to suffer in order to, you know, be a good performer. I know this. I remember in the past when I was into painting a lot and Picasso and all these great painters, and everybody's like, oh, the story of how they, you know, die and then get so successful. So everybody's thinking you got to be that starving artist, suffering guy, you know, and you're like, it's not true. It's just like it's just a myth, you know.
Yes.
So what would you tell me about the diva syndrome? You do speak about this.
Well, the diva syndrome was the first title of the book. And I just fell in love with that. The diva syndrome. You know, you can't fall in love with your own words.
Yeah.
It's funny. I lectured on it on a couple of cruises and put people to sleep.
Wow.
And I even performed it with the wonderful pianist, Christina Stanescu at NYU. And those students couldn't wait to leave.
Oh, really? Wow.
The diva syndrome is what prevents you, me, performing artists from reaching our performance potential. And it's pretty depressing. So I gave up the title reluctantly because it's only half the picture. The diva syndrome is full of what I call dissonant energy. People who think and feel and suffer with the diva syndrome. I call it a condition of energy that you just want to get away from.
Yeah, not a good energy.
No. And they think very judgmental thoughts. They believe that their feelings are facts, which feelings are not facts. They're very powerful, but they're subjective, they're personal. They do not define reality. And these artists think they do and act on them and get in all kinds of trouble because of it.
Yes, sophisticated, fake image, all of this just completely out of tune with reality, I would say.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they think about the results of their work rather than being present and real in their work. How can you do that? And they take everything personally. So it's all about me. All about me. Not a good way to go out in the world. And that's the diva syndrome.
You're right. They're gonna fall. They're gonna fall pretty, hard, and it's not gonna be good. And some people live their lifetime like that's sad, but that's just how it is. What are the 4 empowering ways of thinking, and how can they help you channel your energy?
Say that again, if you will.
What are the 4 empowering ways of thinking, and how can they channel your energy?
Okay, well, one way is to not take things personally. That's a big thing. To know that that belongs to somebody else. I have to look at my role in something. But let's say I get a bad review. Let's say I'm a performer and get a bad review. Okay, I don't like it. But that's someone else's opinion.
Yes.
And I can learn from it. What can I learn from it? And it's not about my person. It's about my behavior, maybe in the pit or on the stage or the color of my voice. And that's your opinion.
Yes.
So it's not about me. It's about my behavior.
True, because they don't know you. And that's one thing to look at it. Second of all, you were a stranger a few minutes before that.
Yes.
So it's about the behavior, something that you did that struck them, and
I can learn. Maybe they have something to that. maybe my intonation was off. I can work on that. But when you think, oh my God, I'm such a loser. They hate me. This is going to destroy me. Me. How can you reach your potential thinking like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
True. Yep. There's also that princess, prince, and frog belief, basically, kind of like you saying, like somebody always has that feeling like, I'm not good enough, I'm never gonna be good enough, and I need to be saved, you were saying. There's a lot of people like this, huh? That have a lot of potential, but just they never think that they can do it. So I'm sure you had some of those clients that, tell me about one or two clients that you had that you really helped them change their thinking like this.
Well, as you know, have case studies in the book.
Yeah, I have some in here if you want me to. I have Amy. She was the jazz singer. She had money issue. She had a wealthy family. She went to therapy. Because she didn't know what to do about the money, and she was getting an opportunity with her family to make a lot of money, but she would not stay true to herself. So she came to you because she wanted to know if she should just stay true to herself and just found another way to find an income or go in a different way. And then after therapy, she was able to create something, a new art project, which allow networking for artists. And she was happy and ended up, finding a way to stay her authentic self. So, and the other story I have, it's a female actor. She could not win an audition to save her soul. So she was thinking too much. She thought people were racist, something like this. And so it was confusing her because she had that story of rejection. And so she stayed in therapy to conquer her thoughts and emotion. And you help her to, I'm not sure this one actually like in your way, but there's people who have this story of everybody's racist and this is why they're not, they don't see my talent or this. So I guess there's all type of people. So what is a depersonalized thinking?
Oh, depersonalized thinking is when you stop taking everything personal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you detach yourself from this thinking. All right. So the other story I have is Gideon he was playing flute in an orchestra, was going to audition for a lesser position because he didn't think that he was good enough to stay where he was. He was like in this really great orchestra, and you show him the way, but all his thought, he thought like, they're not valuing me enough, they're not showing that they care, I don't think I belong here. And you manage to show him his true potential, his talent, that he belonged where he was and he should stay there. And there's people like this, they would be in that great spot, but they think they need to go down, degrade, So like you say in your book, change your thinking, change your doing.
That's my mantra.
Mantra, yeah.
I love it because I live by it. When you change what you're thinking, you will change what you're doing.
That's true.
Yeah, I love it. I really love it.
That's a good way to think every day. You like, every time you start having a bad thought, try to change it. So like, and you see in this, you were saying in the book, like there's at least 5 other ways of thinking that it could make you switch your way of thinking.
Well, that's choice. That's
choice,
not just choice.
Mm-hmm.
I just wrote something on my Facebook page, and believe me, I am so technically challenged. I
Oh,
don't know. Technologically challenged.
okay. I
My-
hate taking English challenge. I hate when things are like frozen, it's not working, and it's just so annoying. You can't go through it. You're like, oh, damn it. Huh?
But you run a podcast. My grandchildren just give up on me. They,
Oh, yeah? Oh.
but I have learned to post weekly. I thought I learned to post
Uh-huh.
some reactions from people about Hamlet's Mirror. I'm learning that maybe I didn't learn, but I will learn more. But anyway,
Oh, you've practiced everything, you know. Once you start practicing, and it's come easier.
yes,
Okay.
when I change what I'm thinking, I'll change what I'm doing. I've
Huh?
really worked on that. There are 5 choices to everything. There might not seem it, things may seem really desperate, but potentially realized performers on stage and off, in the pit or in an orchestra, do have 5 choices as to how they play, how to perform. If you'd like me to, I can go through them.
Yes, sure. Mm-hmm.
The first choice is not to change. And that doesn't seem like a choice. But all these are empowering. Every single choice is empowering. And the choice not to change is empowering because it's a deliberate choice. And it may not be the best choice according to you or me or anybody, but it is a choice.
Okay.
The second choice is to change the situation, change your perspective of the situation. I think I'm giving an example. I think I'll look at all sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Your energy changes when that happens. You open up. You're more accessible, more collaborative.
Yeah, I can see that. Mm-hmm.
Your third choice is to be the change that you want in the world. That's gone.
Yes, that's a big one, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to do, but if you want things to change, you gotta be that change.
Walk the walk.
Yep. Walk the walk. Talk the talk. No.
Walk the walk.
Mm-hmm.
The fourth change is to, what's the fourth change? I think it's to, accept the situation. And that is different from refusing to change. That's, okay, I'm going to trust that maybe you know best. It's a conscious, your energy changes. It's not apathetic. It's, I'm going to do some research and I'm going to really try to go along with what is. So it's more collaborative
Mm-hmm.
than refusing to change. And the fifth change is to leave the situation. And that involves new boundaries, opening new doors, grieving maybe.
Mhm.
So there are 5 changes.
That's excellent. I think if anyone is going to listen to this, I think that's going to really help them if they really listen and act on it. You know, make the choice to pick to one by one from 1 to 5 when something arises, and that will definitely. I'm sure, like you say, you got to embrace, collaborate the situation, and don't go against. And that way it just allows you to have more opportunity, you know, and just feel better about the situation. So this is wonderful. And the book, let's look at it again for everybody. It's available on paperback, book, and ebook, $15.99 on Amazon. And website is Elma Linz Kanefield.com, and you can find her on Facebook, anywhere, any other place, but you're going to see all the links on Vanessa's podcast, the page, all of those places, on YouTube also. So nice to meet you, and thanks for coming on. Was a great interview. And anything else you want to add? Tell me about your practice and how joyful it is to be able to help performers.
Well, when you love what you do, it's one of the greatest gifts I think anybody can have. And I love what I do. Maybe you could tell that.
Yeah, you're right. You're in a place where you like enjoy the people are coming in, like where you are, and so you're gonna reach your highest potential because that's what you taught. But you're already there, you know. So that's great, you know. I'm sure everybody wants to be there. Not everybody reached their highest potential. You know, I'm sure. How many percentage you would say out of 100? Would you say only 50% of people reach their full potential in life?
Oh, I have.
Yeah.
What would you say? I have no idea.
I mean, let's say we're just speaking about America,
Yeah.
and we're only talking about performers. I'll say only 40%. Only really like where they want to be, close to the highest potential. And I think there's still lots of them that are underneath. They could be so much better and do so much better.
Oh, I'm hoping that Hamlet's mirror raises that. I really wish.
Definitely. So thank you. Have a wonderful day. And everybody, you know how to reach her. If you want a copy of the book, also let me know. Nice to meet you. And
Thank you, Vanessa.